Alright team, so today I'm going to teach you how to download the claims form and actually fill it in for the argument that you're looking at for analysis. If you want to begin by clicking on your drive, then go to the argument playlist. That should be in your shared with me folder. That's the purple page. And mine's really far down. Alrighty, so now that I've clicked open my argument playlist, we're looking at lesson 4, which is the claim sheet, and that is going to be right here. So evidence-based claims. Oh, gone too far. So as you can see in yellow, it says download the following document, evidence-based claims. So you're just going to click right there, then click the link. And as you can see here, there's going to be an arrow, and you're going to click on this one to download the form. It'll be right here. If you're using Google Chrome, you have to hit the little download arrow twice to get it onto your computer and then save it to your J drive by going File and then Save As. And you'll be able to pull up your J drive and all that good stuff by hitting My Computer and then choose a different folder if it's not showing up on here. So now that you have this up, you can type your name in it. And you can also type the text you're looking at. For this example, I'm going to be looking at MLK's I Have a Dream. The speech there. So if you notice, your question that you're going to be looking at while you analyze this is what makes this argument effective. So the detail boxes here are actually where your evidence goes, where you pull out those direct quotes from the text and you're going to put them in those boxes there. So if you're writing a test paragraph, this would be your evidence portion of it. So I'm going to look at just the beginning of the speech, and I pulled this line here, 50 years ago, a great American in whose symbolic shadow we stand today signed the Emancipation Proclamation. Okay, so this is my example from the text. I know, because I'm an English teacher, that this is figurative language, and hopefully you all know as well. The figurative language that he's using here is an allusion. So he's alluding to another person or another text, essentially. So, and it's an allusion to Abraham Lincoln. And I know this because the Gettysburg Address starts the same way. Also, he's in the shadow, and he gave this speech in front of the Washington Memorial, essentially. So, the second detail I have here is a quote from the text, or from the speech, but 100 years later, the Negro still is not free. 100 years later, and I'm going to use an ellipses there to show that it keeps going. This quote actually continues, and he actually starts about every sentence of that portion of the speech with but 100 years later, 100 years later, 100 years later, and that is again a rhetorical device. It's repetition. And let's see here. Essentially, he's using this to stress the importance of time that has passed for African Americans, because the Civil War happened about 100 years ago, and he's stressing the point that still it's been 100 years and they're still not free. And then we have our last one, instead of honoring this sacred America has given the Negro people a bad check, which has come back marked insufficient funds. Okay, so again, this is figurative language, and it's metaphorically speaking. So this is a metaphor. America literally didn't give African Americans a check to cash. It's saying that we made this promise to them and it's still not been fulfilled. So the promise made 100 years has not been fulfilled. Okay, so as we can see, I have 3 examples of this. I have my 3 quotes here. So then I'm going to look how I connect the details. So I compare the details and explain the connections I see among them. Well, all 3 of my examples use figurative language. We have allusion, repetition, and a metaphor. So I'm going to say all of the examples from MLK's I have a dream use figurative language to stress a point to the audience. Okay, and so then my claim, is this effective? So what makes this argument effective? Well, MLK's, based on like how I connected the details, MLK's I have a dream speech is an effective argument because he uses rhetorical devices such as figurative language, which hopefully you know what a rhetorical device is by now. If you don't, go back to lesson 3 on what makes an effective argument and make sure you know that's one of the characteristics. Sorry, back to my point. He uses rhetorical devices such as figurative language to strengthen his claim. And we know also this is an effective speech because the civil rights movement happened and it changed a lot of America's opinions. So if I were to write this into a paragraph, this would be my topic sentence right here. I'm just going to mark it out. Topic sentence, because this is my claim. Okay, this would be my first detail in my test paragraph, my first evidence right there, detail 1. Then my support right here, this figurative language, and I would talk about it. Then I would go to my second example, which is my evidence here. Then I would go to my repetition here as support for that second evidence there. Then go on to my third piece of evidence and discuss this metaphor for support. Then this would be my concluding sentence. And I would probably want to add in a little bit more about it being an effective argument or not. So then I've saved this file, save as, and I'm just going to save it onto my desktop really quick. Desktop, SE evidence, SE claim. Okay, save it there. And then I'm just going to do one last thing and show you how to upload it to your drive and share it with your teacher. So I need to go back to my drive, this guy right here. I'm going to hit new and then file upload. And then I'm going to look at my desktop because that's where I saved it. And I'm going to look for SE claim. I have a lot of stuff on my desktop. And see how it's uploading item? Cool, it is uploaded. And then I can click on it right there. Click the 3 dots over here. go with share, and then you're going to want to share it to your teacher. HL, right there. Make sure they can edit it. Claim example, smiley face, and then hit send. Okay, and that should be it. Good luck on lesson number 4. Be sure to check in with your teacher if you need any help, and have a good one.